Don't listen to a radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Thank you for staying with us. That is still Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos, and you're on to Mainland Focus. This is the part where we select one or two major stories off the front pages of our papers, and then we open up the phone line for you to share your own thoughts, your submission, your analysis of these two major stories, okay? We'll be opening the phone line very soon. The phone line will be open very soon, but let's just, take a quick look at the focal points for this morning. Time check right now is 8:45 a.m. My name still remains Omobola Sandra, and I still have Fuad Sahid with me via the phone line. We have two major focal points we're looking at this morning, and the first is the major headline on both the Guardian newspaper, and the second is the major headline on the front page of the Punch newspaper. The first focal point is anxiety as federal government commits state funds to special development commission. So there's falling and stagnating revenues. States are struggling with rising funding needs. There's also the cost of debt servicing, and state governments are really struggling, and they may even lose more fiscal lifeline to emergency development vehicles. But as it is now, Nigeria may have to create more channels to funnel away its lean resources. So month after month, billions of naira would be transferred to these commissions, which may stretch their administrative and overhead expenditure far beyond the contemplation of their establishing statutes, which is seen in the case of the existing ones, which would leave little or nothing to fulfill their original mandate. And the original mandate of this development commission is to address special development needs of the regions they were set up for. In recent times, we saw the creation of the Southwest Development Commission, the North Central Development Commission, the Southeast Development Commission. We have already had the North Niger Delta Development Commission, if we all remember the off your mic scenario. And then we also have the Northeast Development Commission as well. So recently, we have on board now the Northwest Development Commission, the North Central Development Commission, Southwest Development Commission, and Southeast Development Commission. So with the creation of these regional commissions, there's the concern as regards the fact that they may draw 15% of the total monthly allocation of the regional member states. So all of the states in the Southwest, for example, they will cut some money from their allocation basically, and then give to the development commissions to support regional development commission. And there's a serious concern, especially now that we have a lot of state government that are struggling with revenue. There's a lot of state government that are struggling with debt servicing as well. So we're asking this question: do you think the regional development commissions can make a difference with development at the regions, especially with the existing ones? We've had some regional development commissions that have been in existence. Have they shown anything promising that we should expect from the newly created ones? What about the fear of the new commissions drawing inspiration of corruption and hefty budgets from their precursor, the Niger Delta Commission, which at the moment enjoys 15% of total monthly allocation of the member states and from the federation account, and they also get 3% total yearly budget of the oil producing companies operating onshore and offshore in the Niger Delta. The NDDC also gets 50% of monies due to member states from the ecological funds. This is in addition to such grants and all of that, plenty things. There's a lot of money that goes into the Niger Delta Development Commission. So there's the concern that these new ones will not draw from both controversy and unaccountable hefty budget of their precursors, because in recent times we've had that in the first half of this year alone, the Northeast Development Commission was caught in ridiculous contract scams a few years ago, such as the infamous grass cutting contract. I don't know if you remember that story, where 84 billion 84 billion was what the NEDC used to cut grass in the Northeast. All right. And there are other lines of funding, external funding as well. But NEDC gets one of its most generous allocations from the federal government allocation. All right. So how can we make these development commissions work better for the region? There's a reason why they were set up, of course, regional development. So it's a good thing. But how can we ensure that we actually get what we expect to get from them, especially with the creation of the new development commission? So that's the first focal point that we're looking at this morning. The second one is marketers are to begin direct purchase from Dangote Refinery. NNPCL has pulled out as the sole off-taker of PMS from Dangote Refinery. So the major marketers can now go directly. They've gotten the order. They can now go. They've not started, but they can now go directly to Dangote and purchase fuel from Dangote Refinery. What do you make of this story and this latest development? Are you excited about it? Is this something, or you're cautiously optimistic, as Fuad is always as regards Nigerian matters? But then that's the second focal point. So let's hear from you, Fuad, your thoughts as regards these two focal points. Then we can open the phone line.
Well, for the development commissions, if we had performing state government, if our governors were performing, probably would not need development commissions, to the point where we now have to draw from the allocation to keep aside for these commissions to bridge the gap in the area of development at the regional level. But again, it's not so much about the number of commissions we have now created. Now we've been able to create a balance. Every region has a development commission. But who are going to be the drivers of this commission? That's the most important thing for me, really. Because if it's going to still be the same politicians, party members, who because they know one person from somewhere that are going to get the job to run these commissions, then nothing will change. It's going to be the same old story of corruption, misappropriation of funds, bogus budgets, white elephant projects, and then at the end of the day, we'll have the scenario of where we need to off our mic. So it's not, because like I said, I had a serious conversation with one of my lecturers who is also a policy communication expert, who was telling me that, well, he's optimistic about the Southwest Development Commission because of the fact that, look, we have a very vibrant media that keep them on their toes, continue to push and demand for accountability. He also talked about the fact that, look, the Odua investment company has survived all out of all the other regional investment companies that were set up in the past. In fact, he's also pushing for the immediate, the recently retired MD of the Odua investment company, that if he's appointed, probably, it will be a good thing really to drive the South Development Commission. You understand what I'm saying? But what I think from that conversation with my lecturer is that, look, if you can get people who are business-minded, you understand? Not people from the political class. You can go into the corporate world and appoint people who have run business, who understand how to run business profitably, and you put them in charge of those commissions. Sandra, you will begin to get results. And also create a law to take away any influence of the governor on how the commissions, although they have to work in synergy, because they can't exist in isolation, but they must be run by experts. People will be committed to judiciously using the funds allocated to them to develop the commission. And that's for people who are business-minded. Not all these politicians who are going to look at what happened with the Niger Delta Development Commission, despite all the money that has gone there. And until now, something will change, because it's always about who do you know. Are you a party member? You work for the party. Okay, you nominate somebody for the board. Okay, you bring somebody. And then at the end of the day, why are they bringing somebody? Why is somebody nominating somebody to go into that board? It's not to go and do chop and money for the boys. So as much as one expects that this should help the regional development issues, I'm still a bit pessimistic about the fact that, look, we may eventually end up having politicians running these commissions, and at the end of the day, nothing is going to change. And then on the issue of the marketers lifting directly from Dangote Refinery, it's a developing story. We have to wait as it goes. I'm hoping that now that the NNPC has just gotten itself off the way, we're going to get more transparency in terms of the dealing of the Dangote refinery and the marketer. I think Alhaji Aliko Dangote and refinery needs to now tell Nigerians how much is PMS per liter. Very, very important. For Sandra, it's a story that we have to wait and see how it goes eventually.
Thank you very much, Said Fuad. Appreciate your contribution. The phone line is officially open now. 0913 6000 410. 0913 6000 410. That's the number to call to join the conversation this morning. For WhatsApp messages, you can send them to 0913 6000 430. That's for WhatsApp. 0913 6000 430. That's for WhatsApp. Please send your WhatsApp messages there and we can carry on the conversation from there. We're still live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can also drop your comments in the live chat section on both platforms and we'll take them as the show progresses on both Facebook. Excuse me. On both Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. All right, so please do well to like, follow, support, share, whatever, on our social platforms. Would appreciate the support. The handle to look out for is Mainland 98.3 FM. We're live on both platforms. So for those who'll be calling in, we have just 2 minutes. All right, please let's stick within the 2 minutes time frame that's allotted. So the callers would appreciate if we can respect our time so we can take as many submissions as possible. So 2 minutes, please, and let's keep things clean. Very, very important. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Silas, and I'm calling you from Otta.
Silas from Otta.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Fry. Talking about the pulling out of
NNPCL.
To allow a market to buy directly from Dangote. It is simple. The dirty deal has been done to silence Dangote from saying the truth. And I don't think we will hear the truth from Dangote. It is still the way they've been doing it. I stopped at about 700 and something naira, 750 naira with Fuad the other day, where we calculated how much is the cost of petrol. Now then, later on I realized that just like Fuad have asserted that should we be buying at international price rate? I think that is no. Believe me, I still made a research of how much does it cost to extract crude oil. And I arrived at $32.50. It ranges from $20 to $50. It depends on how deep. In the onshore, it is between $20 and $30. Offshore, $30 to $50, which the average is $32.50. Now compare $32.50 with about $72 that we use then to determine the price. So if we are using this $32, targeting price, if at the end of the day we convert it to naira, and what it will cost to extract, for inner cost, that is $32.50 to assumption. Thank you. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. There's a lot of numbers, but just as we always say, as regards timing, please let's stick within the 2 minutes time that's allotted to everyone. Would appreciate that. Yes, you have quite amazing information that you'd like to drop, but then let's try to stick within the 2 minutes time frame. Would appreciate that. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Yeah, I like you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
Do we now agree because the governors of the respective states, they are not performing? Maybe that is the fundamental truth. Well, if that is the position, it's like, well, is Nigeria that is going to work there? It's creating job for them. But the point there now is that who are the people that is going to head the place? Nigeria. And what good for country?
Rest of government, not South.
They haven't fall.